So, good afternoon, and thank you for coming to my talk and presentation on my work as a writer of poetry and non-fiction, looking at healing and well-being and the scriptural message. I'm going to be talking today about my book Parousia, Love's Light, which is a healing journey. So it's a journey on a Mediterranean cruise. A lot of these poems in here were inspired when I was on a cruise, and we, as we sort of entered into these ports and destinations and the Renaissance art, and it's sort of like, oh my gosh, you know, there is all the messages from scripture in statues and in paintings and in monasteries, and just wonderful. So, I'm sorry the back screen isn't working today, but this book is a healing journey. So it's on a Mediterranean cruise. I was on a ship called Oceana, and we went to Venice, and we went to the Doge's Palace, and looking at that Renaissance art, and ultimately the sort of cumulative painting of Il Paradiso by Jacob Tintoretti, which is of the justice rule through Jesus Christ. So I'm going to be looking at justice and peace, and mindfulness, consciousness, and living in the present moment. I'm going to be exploring the healing aspect of faith and scripture through these poetic words. I take photos to capture light, and how to make love whole in you. So if you want to find my work on social media and YouTube, I've got the hashtag of love is not a cortisol. So the definition of Parousia is a Greek origin word, and it means to have the presence. It also represents means the second coming, arrival, and official visit. So the being in the present moment, the personality or atmosphere, and the spirit believed to be present, to be felt. So the fruits of the spirit are love, the love and the joy, the faith, the goodness, mildness, patience, and looking at self-control and to create peace between other people. So twofold peace is the meaning of the name Jerusalem, and Ephraim means a double portion. So rather than just being within the self and looking out for the self and surviving for the self, it's looking at that creating peace and harmony between others for the greater good of everybody. So to be present is to be mindful, and to be mindful is to be conscious of the present moment and aware of the self. So this is a poem called Presence, and it's looking at the present, not as only the present moment that we're in here and now, with that consciousness, but also present as a gift. So today is our present. Our present is a present, only if and when we are present. And it is meant to be pleasant. Life is God's gift. So I'm not of the mindset that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Yes, that's true, but in an ideal world we wouldn't be pushed into those situations. So this book is also the perfect present if you want to have a nice gift. So we arrived first into Venice, and this is a poem that as we arrived on the cruise ship coming down the Rio de Palazzo, the sounds and just the magnificence of the churches and the whole scenes that we were experiencing. So this poem is called Turquoise Love in Venice. Again, it's one of those places that you see pictures of and you see in films, and I've certainly always wanted to go there, but to actually be there and see it was wonderful. So greeted by Atlas and churches galore, glorious in holy dedication, glorious in turquoise love, speaking glory to God in the highest, in the domes, in the monasteries, in the monuments. turquoise waters with gondolas, in reality, not a painting. The scent of seaweed and taste of red wine and olives, salt and fresh waters flow freely. So just that turquoise light that Venice seems to hold